Okay, so here's everything that basically DM said. So DM, she apparently, we're learning now, aside from texting with BF, the other surviving roommate, Bethany, um, she it sounds like they had BF and DM, they spoke before this texting started taking place. And they had two short phone conversations, 24 seconds and 41 seconds. That's why when you read the text messages, um, when BF says Xana was wearing all black, it's because more than likely DM said to her, said to Bethany, there was a guy in all black, during one of those phone calls. And so that's why she's saying Xana was wearing all black. She's thinking, you've got to be confused. There's Xana was wearing black. It was Xana, something like that. So the 911 call gets placed at 11:13 or 11:56 a.m. on November 13th. And there's some new information that's come out too about the roommates texting activity. They were on social media talking to mom and dad. I mean, there was more than what the state initially released. Um, so at 12:09 p.m., 13 minutes after the 911 call, the cops are there. And on the 911 call, she's trying to tell the call taker, at 4 a.m., she's trying to tell them what happened. And they're like, no, just tell me what happened. Like, I need to know what's going on right now. The 911 call taker's like, I got to get help there now. She told Officer Nunez that she saw a male who was not insanely tall, wearing all black, and a mask that was just covering his forehead and mouth. Later, DM repeated the description. He was a little bit taller than me. I couldn't really see much of him. And I'm almost positive he was wearing a full black outfit, and he had this mask that was just over his forehead and his mouth. DM gave the description a third time, repeating he had a mask. He was an inch or two taller than her, and he was basketball player, kind of skinny, and he had a voice she didn't recognize. Let's see. DM reported that this is like more than an hour later, 1:47 p.m. She talks to Detective Mowry. She said that she saw a white male she didn't know, maybe my height, a few inches taller, skinny, athletic built, wearing all black, wearing this mask that covers just his forehead and here. So she's obviously gesturing. She said, I'm 5'10", so he's probably around 6 feet. I don't remember what his eyes looked like either. I didn't recognize his eyes, but he's definitely a white guy. So then on November 17th, she's talking to these other detectives, Detective Gooch from Idaho State Police, and then Sergeant Dustin Blaker. She gave a detailed recounting of what she did on Saturday, November 12th. And then this interview, like 4 days after the homicides, she talks about how she heard the male's voice that she didn't recognize, and the male says, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." And she opened her door and saw someone, because from my mind, it's like I was almost wearing these blurry glasses, like it's fuzzy and cloudy, but it was like a figure or of someone wearing all black. And it was like they had a ski mask that was covering their forehead and their chin and mouth. But I could see, all I remember was seeing their eyebrows. And I don't remember what their eyes looked like, but I remember their eyebrows. I don't remember the color the eyebrows were. I just remember like bushy eyebrows. That's all I could think about. So the eyebrows are what stood out to her. Again, she described the male. I know he looked at me because I could see his eyebrows. I think I just saw one eyebrow. I don't know why or how. DM recounted calling and texting her roommate BF, and she discussed with BF that there was someone in the house wearing all black and a ski mask. She conveyed to the interviews that the facts didn't fully make sense to her and she didn't know how to explain everything. Detective Gooch explained to DM that the important thing was to tell only the things that she knew were true, and that was the most important. And she agreed. DM agreed with that. So she remembers his eyebrows. That's all she remembers was eyebrows. I don't know. They asked her if she knew what a balaclava was. So look at this, guys. She says it's not like a regular ski mask. So look at this. I got kind of curious because there's a purchase from there's some purchases that the state wants to admit from Bryan Kohberger. And one of them is from Under Armour. And I have no idea if this is what he purchased, but there are purchases from Under Armour and Dick's Sporting Goods from June of 2022. And the state wants to admit these purchase records from Bryan Kohberger and they just want to introduce these. It's like self-authentication of records. Yeah. So Design Rhythm says Dylan was on Instagram while Bethany was calling 911. You know, I wonder if she was doing that to message. My theory, I'm wondering if she was messaging roommates instead of calling or texting them, which she had already tried. Maybe she was trying to message them. That's my theory. So here's an Under Armour balaclava. And this is the black one. I feel like it's kind of hard to see, but would that be kind of like a weird looking ski mask? I have no idea if this is what they want to, this is what he purchased from Under Armour or not. But she said it wasn't like a rectangular one or whatever. But look, there's that like opening. It's just something I thought about when I saw that in the documents. But there's one that's black. So that was my thought. Well, apparently this is a balaclava. I'm sure there are other different kinds of balaclavas, but this is one that I found online. Like, how would you even wear that and why? It says adult cold gear infrared. Maybe you wear that if it's like super cold out and you're jogging or something. I don't know. So let's go back now to the bushy eyebrows. So this is what I'm wondering, if this is what they're discussing. So let's get back to the bushy eyebrows stuff from DM. So they basically lay out a lot of what DM told the detectives. So they asked her, they asked her again about the face coverings. They showed her a picture of a balaclava. And in response, in addressing whether she could see the male's mouth, DM stated no. And I don't remember if I saw it. Like, I don't remember if I saw his nose, but I know I saw eyebrows, and I don't remember his eyes. I just feel like I can see eyebrows, but I mean, that could be it. I mean, that would make sense why the forehead was covered and this part of his face was covered. So she's obviously gesturing. She's saying this part of his face and that part, blah, blah, blah. So she's saying the forehead was covered and whatever else part of his face was covered. She couldn't see his mouth. She doesn't remember if she saw his nose, but she could see his eyes. Look at that. And his eyes and his eyebrows. So maybe I need to order a balaclava.